Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of High Culture with Emily and Lizzie. As very sophisticated girls, we talk solely about the finest of arts, including reality TV, dating shows, niche TikTok drama, and celebrity lives. So, Emily, how are you? Welcome to the first episode.
I'm so excited. I'm doing so well. I'm still like coming down from the Super Bowl, honestly. Like that was so like hectic. Like such a big weekend because we hosted. So
Hmm.
we had a full house and we honestly like at least it wasn't too eventful, so it wasn't that crazy. But yeah, I mean it was a lot of people, but other than that, I'm doing well. How about you? How was the weekend? How was everything?
That's fun. That's fun. I had a wedding this weekend, and so I came home with my parents, and so the three of us watched the Super Bowl together. So it was actually so nice. My mom ordered wings. We had French onion dip. Like it was just like perfect, perfect. But I loved watching the Super Bowl. Honestly, sometimes I feel like watching at a party, you n don't really watch the Super Bowl. So it was kind of nice being able to actually watch, even though it ended up getting kind of boring till the end, at the end.
Oh, exactly. I feel like that was definitely the vibe this year. The last couple of years, I've been able to like actually watch the game because I was like either like sitting in a dorm room or just like watching with like my immediate family in
Hmm.
the living room. But this year, since it was so many people, like, and the TV didn't even go that loud. So when the halftime
Yeah.
show happened, we were just like, me and my sister were like, shut up, it's Kendrick Lamar. Like, guys, like, focus, lock in. And everyone was just talking. But yeah, it was so good, the halftime show. Can we get into that? That was like, I really liked it. I feel like it was controversial in my group, at least, because we were with a lot of my dad's work friends, and I feel like they just didn't get it. Like, I feel like if you weren't a Kendrick fan or you didn't listen to his music actively, you wouldn't have liked it because, like, it's a lot. He's a little hard to understand because he mumbles a little. He's a little bit of a mumble rapper. But other than that, like his visuals are so good. I feel like he's such a good performer. I think like he has such great like performance value whenever anytime he does anything. And I think the visuals were so great. The dancers, very like Rihanna with the red outfits. Everyone was saying that. And what's his name? Sam Jackson being Uncle Sam. Beautiful. Loved it. And any other like I'm trying to think of like any other little things that I saw in it. I don't I don't know. What do you think?
I completely agree. I loved it. Um, I think I had the same experience because I watched with my parents. So th at the end, they were kind of like, oh, just my mom was like, that was weird. And I just look at her and I you don't get it. That's basically people 50 and up don't get it. People 40 and up don't get it. It's not for you. Um, Also, if you're a white person and don't understand any element of any meaning behind that, considering also just think about like who was in the audience, just everything and this year, just everything that has happened this year, think about everything. And Kendrick is he's won like the Pulitzer Prize for his music. Like he is a poet, he is a rapper, he is an artist. He wasn't just gonna go up there and do la-di-da, which it's fun when artists go up there and do their biggest hits, but that's not who Kendrick is. That's not what he was gonna do. He's going up there and he's making a statement. And I can't remember the last time like a Super Bowl made a statement like that. And I also think now is such an important time to make a statement like that. I would have been disappointed in Kendrick if he just didn't stick true to himself and, just put on a show because that's what everyone, all the outside people are telling him to. But he just won two Grammys for Not Like Us. Like he is winning and he's the biggest rapper in the world right now. He does not need to listen to what people have to say. So I love that he did not care. He did not care. I loved how he set up the suing stuff. Like Drake is gonna sue, but they're gonna sue. Um, and he basically just said, like on TV, like, I don't care. I don't care. So, yeah, basically, the people that are upset, it's not for you. And that's okay. That's okay. But, you have to you I saw, I don't know, right after the halftime show, I was like, I'm curious what people's opinions are going to be. I saw Tyler Cameron. I still follow Tyler Cameron randomly. He was in the stadium. He posted immediately, like a minute after it ended on Instagram, a video. It was like a reel. I'm like, what are you doing? Um, and he said, worst halftime performance ever. And I thought that was such a bold statement to make immediately. Worst
Like,
halftime
how are
performance
you gonna say
ever,
that? How are
ever.
you
It,
gonna
it
say
might not
that when Adam Levine when Adam Levine's halftime show exists? Like, come on.
it might not be your favorite, but worst ever. And that also, I saw some similar stuff coming from the stadium people. And I think that's the thing. People that go to the Super Bowl halftime show, think about the millions of people that are watching at home. The whole point of the Super Bowl halftime is for the people at home. It's not for the people in the stadium. It's not a concert, you know.
Exactly.
It's not, you're not at the Eras Tour and it's for just the people at the stadium. You know, it's specifically for people at home watching. So that's why it's made for TV. Everyone on the like the the camera work was so amazing. And I was actually thinking to myself, like, oh,
Oh
I bet if I
yeah.
was in the stands, it would be kind of hard to see, but that's the point, you know?
Exactly. I thought that definitely the demographic of people inside of the stadium too is completely different from the demographic at home. Like it's a very different vibe. Also, like not to get political, but the political vibe of the people inside of the stadium are very
It's true.
different. You have
Hmm.
the president in there. It's like a different crowd. So it's very interesting to see the reactions of people inside the stadium. Also, like to bring Taylor into it, like the reaction of people to seeing Taylor on the screen in there was crazy. Like it's a different vibe of people that would not particularly be fans of like Kendrick Lamar and Taylor Swift, exact, like to put it that way.
It's not the Grammys. Let's just say the audience at the Grammys is a very different audience,
Very
100%.
different.
But I really loved Kendrick, and I saw a stat today. It was the most watched Super Bowl at halftime performance ever. And I am
Really?
so happy for him. Yes, I am so happy for him. I can't remember the number, but it was the largest number of viewers. And already his YouTube video has more viewers than Usher even has right now
Oh my God,
from
wow.
his last year. And Usher had a year of people to view that. So
Kendrick's
I don't
power.
know.
His power.
Regardless, it had people talking, and that was the whole point, you
For
know?
sure. For sure. And he definitely put the nail in the coffin with the Drake stuff. Like that was it. I thought Serena,
I was about to
that
say,
was that was hysterical. And me and my sister, we were like on Twitter the next day. We X, sorry. We were on Twitter. I'm so used to saying it that way. Oh my gosh.
it's
So
still
we were
Twitter.
on
It's still
X, Twitter. It's Twitter, whatever. So we were looking the next day and we were like, oh my God, Drake and Serena Williams dated. Like we had no idea when we were watching it. We were like, that's so
I had no
random,
idea.
such a random cameo that she's there. That's just, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That just goes to show like his mind. Like Kendrick is such a creative artist. He is thinking about every aspect of the production. He's thinking about the visuals, the storytelling, the lyricism, every aspect of it.
The memes.
Oh, the memes, of course, of course. I
I
just had a field day looking the next day.
I did not know about the Serena Williams aspect either. If you don't know, basically Serena apparently dated Drake in the past, but maybe it ended badly, we don't know. But Drake, I guess, has a verse talking about Serena on one of his songs, and it's a little bit of a diss, kind of, you know? And so, like, Kendrick knew that, and he pieced it all together, you know? He's like, come here, Serena. No one's gonna bother you over here. Um,
I love
but
that.
also, I'm not a Kendrick fan in a sense of I don't listen to his music. I Most of those songs I did not know, besides like the popular ones, of course. And I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the take of, oh, I'm not a fan, so I'm not necessarily, I didn't enjoy it. That's not necessarily like my opinion because I loved it. and I did not know majority of those songs. So
Totally agree.
that's
Like that's exactly how I am with him. I used to love him in like high school. Like the Damn album. I have it on vinyl. Like that's
Mhm.
literally one of my favorite albums ever. But like recently like his newer stuff I haven't been listening to. I feel like it's just like not my vibe anymore. And I I'll listen to whatever is like charting of his and like I'm like a casual listener of his. I'm not like a super fan and I really enjoyed it. And I feel like that's the general consensus among most people that watched it.
Yeah, among my friends and honestly, the people I surround myself around, I'm like, that's all I care about. You guys agree with me.
Exactly, exactly.
And then oh, so we're wearing green, which is funny because it's Go Eagles question mark? Like
Oh,
that's
for sure.
the vibe, right?
For sure. Go
Did a thumbs
Eagles.
up just
Always.
come up for
Yeah,
me?
what was that? Is
Okay,
that
this
like
happened
the
to this happened to me the other day. Zoom is weird. Basically when I was with my I had a advisement meeting with one of my advisors and I said something and then the weirdest thing popped up on my face and like it did like confetti or something and we
no.
both were I was like, "Wait, did you do that or did I do that?" And she's like, "I don't know. I've never seen that before." And it was so weird. I think Zoom takes I updated it recently. That's why. I think it take like if you say something it will make an emoticon or something. I don't know. It's scary. I don't know what
Oh
I
my
said
God,
to get that thumbs
no.
up, but I'll see.
More
Anyways,
AI just taking over
that was
every single
that.
aspect of everything.
Why? I'm sure
It's
there's a
literally
setting to
everywhere.
turn it off, but I
Need
don't
to
know.
make it happen. Like I hate the
Yeah.
Apple Intelligence, totally off topic, but like I hate how it just like comes up like the auto text, like when you're about to send a text and it gives you like a suggestion of what to say. Like I have
I
a
don't
brain,
have the
thank you. I need to turn it
I,
off. I need to turn it
I,
off.
I don't have the update,
Oh,
so
don't get
that's
it.
why I don't see that.
Do not get it.
Uh, okay.
It is
Um,
bad.
Anyways, I was just saying that we're both wearing green because the Eagles won, which is exciting. I was rooting for the Eagles. I decided like a few days before, and so I'm happy my team won.
I know. I feel like this time around, like the general consensus, like everyone that I was there, because like none of us are from either of those cities, so none of us really had a bias going into it. Like
hmm
it's just two random teams to us, but obviously like there's like the Chiefs, they won the last 2 years, so everyone was kind of like, let's root for the underdogs this time, like let's see a different team win, change it up a little.
Yeah, I think that was everyone. Everyone besides like Kansas City fans were like, I do not want to see
Yeah.
them win again, which I totally get. And they lost so bad. It was so crazy. Actually, one of the craziest things, imp I thought it was going to be so hard for the Eagles to win just because I feel like I've been watching the Chiefs a lot, like, especially the last two Super Bowls. And I'm like, they're so good. I don't know how the Eagles will be able to beat them. Um, and I don't know. I don't know football that
No.
well, but I was kind of shocked. I was shocked.
Like I don't like you don't have to know football. It's the
It
score.
was bad. It was
It
bad.
was really bad, and it was very like out of character for them. And it was just interesting, very interesting to see. I was like, wait a minute, this
Yeah.
is new.
I feel like it
But
kind of proves the whole like NFL is scripted thing. Like, no, no,
I
they
wasn't
were
gonna
that
say it,
good.
but thank God you did. Like
I
that
feel
was so
like
out of character for them. Like they're so much better than they played, and like the coach didn't even seem that mad.
yeah. I think honestly, and I think it was kind of like how I felt and also the faces of um uh the teammates or the Kansas City Chiefs players. I think they were in literal disbelief at what was happening. Genuinely. I think they were just like in shock, like disbelief. Like, I can't believe this. So I agree. I feel like I didn't see the coach that mad, but honestly, I think he was just genuinely shocked.
This is
I'm
resting
shocked.
shocked face.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely
Okay, do you want
different.
to,
Good change up.
should we move on from Super
Hmm.
Bowl talk? I had
Yeah,
so much fun with the Super Bowl this year, though.
it
Loved.
was. It was really fun. Yeah, we're giving like Barstool right now with the sports talk. Like this is not us at all. Like just disclaimer, we never talk sports. It's not our realm, but it's pop culture. The Super Bowl is pop culture.
This is me like once a year. Like that's the
Exactly.
only
This
time I
is
care.
our real Super Bowl is the Met Gala, so stay tuned for that.
Dude.
Yeah, that's
Um,
exciting.
another almost, it's like a baby bowl for us. The Oscars are coming up.
Hmm.
And it's on March 2nd. I'm so excited. I am behind though. I need to create a calendar because I have seen no movies. Emily, you have seen a bunch of movies, and please talk on that. But I've seen none besides The Substance, and I need to get on it.
Yeah.
I seriously need to break down like which night I'm gonna watch what because I need to go in with a few under my belt.
Yeah, there was a lot of movies that I made a plan for myself. I was like, I want to get through all of the Best Picture nominees, and I am not doing a good job at all on it. Um, I got to watch Amelia Perez, which was certainly interesting, certainly a movie. I just feel like it was, this is like the common consensus on social media, so I feel like everyone feels pretty much the same about it. It just felt pretty disrespectful and kind of backwards about the whole situation. Like the premise of the movie is that it's centered around this this like crime boss who hires an a lawyer, which is Zoe Saldana's character. He hires her to help him undergo a gender transition entire process and completely erase the evidence of like her past life and create like an entirely new identity. And it's a really interesting premise, but the way that it was executed was just so backwards because you have this French director where in France, like this really isn't a thing. It's like it's not something that they talk about. So he's trying to like make a statement and be like, this is a thing in America. Like this is something the French people we should talk about. We shouldn't be so quiet about this. And then he sets it in a different location that's also pretty backwards about it. So it's just, I think coming from an American perspective where this is all very it's not taboo for us, so it's not very like monumental. This isn't something new for us, and the way that their take on it was just kind of like backwards. Like it was just a few years back from us. So it was just not well received by Americans, but I'm really interested to see how it does at the Oscars because critically critically it did mediocrely as well. Like it didn't people didn't like it that much. They thought the music was bad. It was a musical also. Like I don't
Just
know.
one thing after the other, adding on to the fucking craziness of this
The
movie. I
dumpster
have not
fire.
seen it. I've seen
Have you seen,
clips.
yeah, like
I
the
want to
clip?
see it. The clip. I want to see it, and I think I will. I'll add it to like the few movies that I'll have under my belt before the Oscars come. But it's kind of I just need to see it just because if it wins a bunch of things, I want to have
Exactly.
a right to be pissed because I'm pissed already, and I don't know. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
let Wicked sweep. Let Wicked sweep, even though
exactly. Ugh.
whatever.
Ugh, if Wicked wins everything, I will not be mad about it. I like just I Cynthia and Ariana, they deserve everything good in the world, and I think that they're the best people ever.
I know,
Um,
but
questionable best people ever, but best artists ever.
to me, to me, um,
Love them.
I feel like the Oscars are so artsy and so like they have a stick up their ass and they have these expectations. That's why it's disappointing where I understand Wicked had such a huge, huge budget, and that's why I think other movies who have like are more independent films, get more recognition, which I totally understand. But I mean, tell me The Substance didn't have a huge budget either.
Oh
I didn't know what The
yeah.
Substance budget was, but I feel like big like blockbuster movies, they don't love celebrating. Same thing kind of with Barbie last year. like the snub to Best Director, and did the same thing kind of this year with snub to Best Director for Jonathan Chu. So I don't know, but I hope maybe one of the girls win or they go home with something. But I don't have much faith in the Oscars, in the Academy. I don't know.
I totally agree with that because it's not like the like critic the like the People Choice Awards, like it's not
Hmm.
we don't get to vote, it's whatever the higher ups say for these. So I feel like something like Wicked, I feel like scenic design is beautiful. Like I think they have a really good shot at that because they just had such gorgeous sets in that movie. Like I think that they did really well in that area, but I would love to see Cynthia win EGOT. Like that would be amazing. And I think everyone's
Hmm.
kind of rooting for her for that. But if it's her time, it's her time. If it's not, it's not. I think that it's a very competitive category for Best Lead Actress because you've got also Demi Moore, who deserves it so much. And you saw The Substance, you know how amazing her performance was. She had a really great job. So it's a really competitive year, and I'm really excited to see like how all these movies do. Like I know The Substance is huge. There's also Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown, which was
Hmm.
I didn't get to see it. Did you get to see it yet?
No. That
I'm
is one that honestly, I don't know why. At first, I was excited, but I didn't hear many people talking about it after it came out. And so I'm kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I don't know.
I know. I feel like I wanted to watch it, obviously, because I have my list, but it's not very high priority on it. I don't
Mhm.
know. Like I just something about Timothy Chalamet's recent movies. Like I used to be obsessed. I used to wait to see him in every single little thing. Like I was so obsessed with him a couple of years ago, but recently, like when Wonka came out, I was like, I don't really care about this dude, and like I don't need to see him singing and
I
dancing.
loved
Like
Wonka.
I didn't even watch the whole thing. Oh my God.
Wonka, fun fact, was one of my favorite movies from like the
Stop
film
it.
fest
Okay,
or
maybe.
something. It was so funny watching it in theaters. I watched it with like a group of my friends, so that's why it was just really funny. But it wasn't like a critically acclaimed,
Yeah.
or anything
It's
like
like a
that.
random musical from a franchise.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna get a critical acclaim like that.
For me, I think with the complete unknown, I think that it's not necessarily the Timothy Chalamet piece got me. It's the Bob Dylan aspect that I'm not as that interested in Bob Dylan. And then after like the movie came out, people like I heard people who watched it are saying that, oh, it was good, but kind of anticlimactic. His life story isn't super interesting. Not like I think
Well,
there's this thing, so many biopics, like not everyone needs a biopic. Just because someone becomes an artist, like is like Elvis, he had such a interesting life and such a tragic death. Bob Dylan's still alive. Bob Dylan actually lived a pretty quiet life that no one really knows about. So there's not many like public incidents that people know about and that, you know, issues, big media issues that he had that we would be interested in seeing like a biopic on. So I don't know, like
yeah.
I
I
don't care.
completely agree. The only thing that would have been drawing me into that movie is like him and Elle Fanning. Like that's it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like I feel like that's also the thing with like there's so many biopics and a lot of people are just using them as Oscar grabs for like best lead actor to see who could do the best like caricature of this person. Like I feel like that's taking the fun away because like with Austin Butler, like nobody else could win that year because bro spent like 4 years of his life. I don't even know. He spent so much of his life preparing for that thing and like method acting, and he made it his whole life
But
preparing for that
did
movie.
did he win? I don't think he won.
He didn't, did he win? I don't even remember. I think
I
he
don't
won
think
something.
so.
Wait, that's so
Maybe
embarrassing.
something. That's what I'm saying. Like, I
So-
think it was all that
Wait,
for
I have to
what?
look that up. Fact check.
Because
Austin
I
Butler.
remember it was like a hard year because there was a lot of, it was like the year of like the movie The Whale, if you remember, I
Oh,
think, but maybe
yeah.
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Um, but look
Yeah,
that
he
up.
won. Okay, he won the Golden Globe and he won a BAFTA nom, but he didn't win the Oscar. Oh, that's crazy.
Yes,
That's
yes. It was a
crazy.
competitive year.
That is so wild. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The Whale was
But
really good.
yeah,
I actually just watched that for the first time.
really?
It's
I never
crazy.
saw
I
it.
never saw it because I was like, this is I didn't seem like very interesting to me, but I watched it. Crazy. Crazy movie.
I mean it got a lot of awards, so I assumed it was good.
Mhm.
But totally agree. I like original stories. That's the hard thing. These days, it's just either, sequel or whatever has been working, biopics. It's no original stories, and I know it's hard, obviously, in these times because things are so expensive. It's so hard for like production to even be approved. So that's why most likely it's going to be a buy, like something that is already successful is going to be successful. So that's just what sucks about nowadays. Like no new movies, fun movies are coming out. So let's hope this is a good year for movies. I don't know what is even
Praying,
supposed to come out, but I'm
praying, praying,
excited
praying.
for whatever. Well, we have another Wicked coming out this year already. So
That we're
we're
locked in
already
for. I'm seated in the theater. I'm seated
we're
already.
already set up for success.
Yes, exactly. And then also, wait, so random, but like when you were talking about franchises, I just remembered the Hunger Games movie. The next one is coming out next year. So that's like another unoriginal content thing, but I'm gonna be seated for it anyway. Like,
Wait, so tell me, what is this in relate? I never watched the ballad. What is it?
oh, the ballad, yeah, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That's the prequel about President Snow and like his like come up and everything. So,
So I never watched that. Are you saying that they're coming
mm,
out with a new movie or a new
another
book?
one. New book and new movie. The new book is coming out next month, and then the movie's set to come out next fall, I think. So
Is the
it's
movie based on the new book?
yeah. So this one's called Sunrise on the Reaping, and it's like Haymitch's backstory, which is gonna be sick. Cause he's
I
like
love
he's like a
that.
he's a fave. He's a fan fave. I could geek about the Hunger Games for forever, but
Who do you think like they're gonna cast for Haymitch?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because
I feel like
everyone
it's
was
gonna
saying
be
Mike Feist for a while, but like he's too
okay.
old. He has to
Mhm.
play a 16-year-old. And like I want it to be an unknown again. I thought like Tom Blyth was like perfect because like nobody knew who he was before that. And like he had his like niche like British fans who were like, I've been here since the beginning. But like nobody knew who he was. And then he shot into stardom. I love when that happens, and I think that we need another one of those.
Same. I love that. I agree. I
I think
agree.
that'll be so fun. So that's next time, next month, next year, whole shebang.
I
That series
know.
is never
Hopefully
gonna die, and I'm glad. I'll eat it up forever. I'll eat it up forever.
I
Raised
I
me.
love Hunger Games. I have to watch the prequel. I'm gonna do
It's
that.
it's good-ish. The book was better,
Mhm.
in my opinion, but the movie is still pretty good. It's
You
a
know what
little
I'm sad
messy.
about? Olivia Rodrigo's song that she wrote for that movie, Catch Me Now, did
So
not
good.
win Grammy. And she was
Didn't
nominated.
Billy win that year though? Wasn't it What
No,
Was I Made For? What was
no, what was I
no.
made for was a year ago. The Grammys this year was what Catch Me Now was nominated in.
Oh,
It was just like where
really?
it was where it fell in
Oh, like
the
the dates? Ugh, that's
yeah,
annoying. Who,
but
what,
it didn't win.
what
I
won
don't
for that?
know. I don't know. Like other original score, I think like other things were like Challengers that was coming up.
Oh, Challengers.
But I
Yeah.
don't know if they
That also
won.
feels like so long ago.
It was something I know, literally. It was something that I didn't know. But anyways, I wanted her to win for that because I thought it was so good. But
Yeah,
whatever.
it's okay. That was like my song for so long. Like I love that song. And it like
We
just
need
fits so well into the movie.
we
Sorry,
need
what were you gonna say?
more. I'm saying we need more Olivia Rodrigo, like folk. I love that shit. I love it. Love that
I
vibe. Whatever that song is, I need.
She's just so good, and I miss her so much. I feel like we haven't gotten anything from her recently. Like I need my Olivia Rodrigo content back. I mean like there was a lot of time between her two albums, so like I get it, but give us a single, feed us a little bit, please.
I know, like just one song. But the thing is, she's an album girl. She's not just but I wish. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Speaking of, and I hate this, but this is like a good segue. Speaking of Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter was announced today that she's going to be the cover of the March issue of Vogue, and the pictures are stunning, stunning. Did you take a look at some of the pictures?
I will now, but I know anything that Sabrina does is going to be artful and gorgeous.
She
Um,
looks amazing. I want everyone to look up what I'm talking about because I have
oh my
comment.
God. Oh my God. She looks
It's
amazing. It's so Madonna. It's so Dolly Parton. Oh my God. It's
Marilyn. Yeah, it's like
Marilyn.
Marilyn.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh
Um,
my God. She looks incredible.
I love it and I
Wow.
think she looks so good. But I saw something on TikTok the other day. And because it just showed up on my FYP, I didn't feel any certain way about it. But then this coming after seeing that TikTok, I kind of thought like, hmm. And I'm not necessarily saying that I have an opinion on this, but the TikTok was saying that Sabrina needs to find her own style and saying that uh, she is making too many callbacks on other people's inspiration, like other people's vibe. She's not making her own inspiration. Like just examples of she used like do you remember that pic? I don't know if you saw like her wearing one of Fran Drescher's outfits from The Nanny.
Yes.
Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
few of those where she's wearing like dresses that are like callbacks to old Hollywood stuff or anyways. And I saw that and they showed me a bunch of examples and I was like, oh, I see what they mean, you know? Like her Grammys look, I guess, was a callback to someone. Was it Marilyn as well? I don't know. Or like Madonna. Um, but then seeing this and seeing her hair is so Marilyn, is so like Madonna, is very clearly kind of calling back to that like Hollywood glamour, old Hollywood. Do you think that she does that too much, or is
I
it just her?
I think that this has always been a thing with Sabrina. I feel like her whole thing has like the problem with her before, the reason that she didn't blow up before like the espresso era and everything is that she didn't have a distinctive visual identity. Like you just
Mhm.
saw a girl with blonde highlights and thick brown eyebrows, pin straight hair, like just like your regular girl. And I think she started building that in like the last couple of years with her last few albums. She started getting like embracing this femininity. And I think her record label probably saw that and was like, let's take this and just dial it up to 10,000 and just like make the visuals like very distinctive and very like but that's kind of what you need to do now because like if you're looking at you have her you have like Chapel Roan very distinctive visual identities like I think the main pop girls right now all are very like very they have you can see a picture of them it doesn't even show their face and you'd know who it was you know.
No, I agree. And I love Sabrina's aesthetic. Like I seriously, she created kind of a whole trend almost. Like that's what I like. I've tried to make my Pinterest boards into exactly her aesthetic. Like I'm so obsessed. It's like baby girl, baby doll aesthetic, like so cute. And ew, that sounds like
Not Lolita
fetishy. And
core.
I don't mean it in that way. I meant like
In a
like
coquette cute
coquette,
way, yeah.
coquette.
Hmm.
Yeah. And but also it's like sexy and I love her aesthetic totally. I just
Hmm.
thought it was interesting how I feel like especially recently, even though she's honoring the women, the icons that I think she bases a lot of her music around, her inspiration. So I think that's mainly what she's doing. She's paying homage to them. But I definitely think it's an interesting thing. And I want to watch out for it a bit more because one thing about Chapel, although you can make connections to Lady Gaga, her style is her style. Like I
Oh, for
can't name another
sure.
person that like her Grammy performance, I can't tell you like one thing that like her outfits, any person that she's referencing, and she's kind of just doing her own thing, which I think gives her some edge, you know?
I
But
agree
we'll
with
see.
that.
I think this is like the obviously the end of the once Sabrina finishes this tour, the Sweet and Short tour. I think she's gonna have to like evolve into a new era a bit, you know? And although she has a very specific aesthetic, I feel like it's gonna have to change a little for the next album to keep things interesting. So we'll see where she goes and if she sticks onto this old Hollywood aesthetic or if she lets it go, you know?
I think so too. I think it's very like a very specific like this is this era thing. And she might make like a total pivot. She might not. I mean, she's still like very early in her mainstream career. So I think like it's definitely something to watch and keep an eye on for the
Mhm.
future. I think that I mean, I personally love it and I think that it's a necessary callback to have like right now because these are like the women who create these are the women who created the industry. They're
Mhm.
like the most iconic of iconic people. And I think that like uplifting those women and putting them in the forefront and their styles and that stuff also is just gorgeous. And I love that it's happening.
I
And
agree. I agree. At first, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, like, because I saw that TikTok and I was like, is she copying like a lot of people? Not copying, obviously, she's paying homage, but I was like, is she just kind of like copying other people's styles? But I agree. I think it's just more of like paying homage to them and honoring them. And this is might not be something that she's going to do forever. It's just this like niche time in her era, you know?
I agree. And I think she's doing it in a pretty tasteful way too. Like you can make the direct comparison to like Kim's dress at the Met Gala last year, which was a disaster, to say the least. That was
Yeah.
definitely a blunder and a bad example of paying homage to Marilyn, but I think that this is a great way to do it. I really like this. I love these visuals that she's been doing. And I just think it's fun. I think also she's she's kind of she didn't predict it, but because it was already trending before, like coquette has been a thing on like Pinterest. I feel like that like I've had that and her team did a really good job of like seeing it like in its roots and being like, okay, let's just do this. Let's make this her thing. Also, interesting, Madison Beer did the coquette thing. She's been doing the coquette thing with her visuals, and she
Mhm.
didn't blow up the same way Sabrina did, which was really interesting to me.
No, I know. I love Madison Beer, and I think she has such good music, such a good voice. I seriously could see her blowing up to stardom. Like seriously, like being like a Tate McRae. I don't know. I'm shocked that some of these other pop girlies are making it before she has had her big break. Um, and I know people say what they want about Madison Beer. I think she's sweet. Long Island, like I think she's a sweet girl.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I hope she like pops up obviously this coquette style. I think one thing about Sabrina is it's so campy, you know, so like leans into it so much where maybe Madison, I don't know, didn't lean to it into it enough. Anyways, I hope that Madison gets her moment at some point. I don't know. I think maybe a new era for her will do her some good. Okay. Do you want to get into some like content catch up? Have you been watching anything
Ooh.
recently, listening to anything?
So I've been watching The Bachelor, which has
Hmm.
been okay. Honestly, like I feel like the last few seasons of the whole franchise have been kind of lackluster. I think Joey did a great job, but like Jen's season was mid. Grant's season so far has not been very good. People have been, it's really funny because he was singing like the entire second episode, and people were like, is he like just doing this to promote a music career or something? Like he released a single. Like, what is this? Like, what is happening right now? Like,
Hmm.
I don't even know. But it's like the girls are really interesting. I think that he has great personalities and they're like the vibe of the 2000s cast. So it's like bringing back the old energy of the franchise, which I really liked. But they also cut down really fast. Like at the end of the first episode, they got to 18, which was
Hmm.
not unheard of. Like they're just cutting down like exponentially. And I think they're doing a shorter season because I think Paradise is happening this summer. So they're probably gonna end early and then get ready for
Well,
Paradise.
did you see that they're not doing The Bachelorette this year?
Oh, they're not.
They announced that I think yesterday, which is
Oh, I didn't even see
crazy.
that.
I think it's kind of crazy and I think it's telling how Grant season's going, how Jen season went.
Oh gosh, that's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, like they haven't been good. I feel like they're kind of beating a dead horse. Like the formula is getting like how many times can you have people argue with each other over cutting into each other's time? Like it's like just the same thing over and over again. And no matter how many new personalities you introduce into the equation, you can't really reignite the excitement from the early seasons. They've done so much of it already.
They need a new formula. Or they can still do The Bachelor just a different way. I think the mansion even needs to be cut out. I think they just
Oh
need to
yeah.
restart the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
if you need a producer, hire me.
Yeah, right? Hi guys.
Hire us. We'll
Yeah.
help you out. Want to be on Love Island level? We'll
Oh
help
my
you out.
gosh. That's so funny because like also all of the like straight to streaming shows I feel like have gotten so popular, especially with the success of like Love Island, the USA season. Like that
Love
was
is a new Love is Blind is coming out, I think
oh my
on
gosh.
Valentine's Day. And
You know,
that
I
shit, every time I'm like, I watch. I love it.
that's so funny because I never got on the Love is Blind train, but I love Too Hot to Handle. Like, actually, I don't love it, but I watch it. Like, I'm addicted. I can't stop watching it. Like, I have to know what
Hmm.
happens. It's just so
Yeah.
stupid. Like, it's actually brain rot, but I've got to watch it. Like,
If this season of Love is Blind ends up being good, I'll tell you to watch it.
okay, let me know because I might watch it. That might be good. I haven't
It's
been
fun.
doing a lot of reality TV, but like I said before, like I watched a ton. I've been like obsessed with Letterboxd recently. So I've just been like logging all my movies and just trying to like watch as much as I can. Also, I have a ton of movies for homework now, so I've had to
Fun.
watch a lot of movies. So I've been watching a lot of good stuff. I watched, you know what I never watched before? The Iron Claw. It's
Oh, I
the
don't even
movie
know what
with
that
like,
is.
oh my God, it came out last year or the year before, I want to say. Zac Efron,
Yes.
Harris Dickinson,
He's
Jeremy
a
Allen White, and they're
boxer.
boxers. So good, so sad. Like I can't recall a movie that made me cry that much. Like
Hmm.
in like it was so sad. And
Oh my
like
God.
you have siblings, it's gonna break you. It's actually gonna break you.
Shut up. Okay.
Like really, really good movie that I watched. And I've also just been listening to a lot of new podcasts. I've just been like trying to change it up and see like I started listening to Smartless with what's his name?
Love.
Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes. So funny. They have such good
Hmm.
interviews, such good interviews. And they're just like goofy. They're just like chatting with each other over Zoom. Like it's just
Hmm.
being friends and like talking about their careers and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah,
And like other than that, like just school, I've been overloaded.
totally, totally. I feel like you get to like a point in school where you can't even like consume any content. Seriously. Like it's just too
Literally,
overwhelming.
literally. What
Um,
about you though? What have you been watching?
I've solely been watching TV, no movies. I have not been reading, which I'm upset with myself about. This happens every time I start a new semester. I just get like
Always.
so busy and I'm like, I literally can't read. But I'm like, you're spending hours watching this TV show. You could easily read, but I don't know, just different like brain that you have to use, you know? Um, but what have I been watching? I've been watching The Traders, which is
Oh,
so
wait.
good. It comes out like once a week and it's with like reality stars. This season
Ooh,
is really good. It's like people from The Survivor, people
stop.
from The Bachelor, like Gabby
That's so
Whittles, you know
fun.
her
Oh my God, yeah.
on it.
No way.
Chriselle from Selling
Stop.
Sunset,
Stop. Oh my God.
Housewives. There's a lot of good, just
That's
random
fun.
characters. Tom Sandoval is like the
Oh my
funniest
God.
person. Anyway, so it's been actually a while. And every week I feel like The Traders needs to come out more than just once a week, but it's been good. Now it's kind of getting to the end, so
hmm
it's a little like getting a little boring because the beginning was just so funny. They had like
hmm
uh Bob the drag queen, which I don't know if you know who Bob the drag queen is,
I
but
don't.
made for reality TV. It's insane. And anyways, but since it's like has whittled down, it's getting like a little boring. So I feel like the finale's coming
Yeah.
up soon. But I've been watching that. I've been watching have you ever seen the show Parenthood? It is the nichest shit ever.
I remember seeing ads for it and like commercials for it when I was younger. Like it's an old show, right?
Old show. It's with Lauren Graham.
Oh my
and
God.
like Dax Shepard and like other
So
other
random.
like iconic people. And for some reason, I watched that so long ago and no one ever watched it. I don't know why. I was probably like in middle school watching this shit. Like, what was I doing watching this like show about pa literally parenthood? And I've been watching it recently because I'm like watching back to it and I like love it. I love it. And I'm glad I'm watching it again. But anyways, it's like such a waste of my time. I'm obsessed. I'm on Hulu watching it all the time. I'm like, what am I doing? I've seen this show like so long ago and no one kn even knows it. Like no one knows
Oh
it.
my God.
I don't know. It's a weird
That's
one.
so funny.
So if
I feel like
anyone like
my,
understands what
yeah.
I'm talking about, like I have no one to talk to about it. So weird.
Maybe I'll give a couple episodes a shot.
Like, I don't even
Um,
think you'll like it. Like, I don't know why I'm obsessed. I think it's just like the family, like it's like just about family and it's very like wholesome, you know? Like I love
that's
the fa
cute.
like
That's cute. It's like
they
Modern
have a bunch of
Family vibes.
yeah, like they have a bunch of kids and then a bunch of like cousins and they're all like so close and they go to the
Oh, I love
grandparents'
that.
house all the time. Like I think it just gives me
Sometimes you
vibes
just
of like
need
what
that.
I'm like I want my life to be like this. Seriously.
Oh my gosh, that's fun though. Like sometimes like I will like I'll throw on Modern Family for that vibe, like just like the cozy blanket kind of shows. It's like it's not like
Yes.
the like Gilmore Girls kind of cozy blanket shows. It's just like all this like family time, like we're all cl like close knit, just lighthearted, good stuff.
And I think it's like similar to Gilmore Girls for me because something about whatever Lauren Graham touches, I'm just like need to see. I feel like she just gives me wholesome vibes. Like
Oh
she,
yeah.
I don't know, Lorelai
It's
Gilmore
just it's
anywhere
the
in
way she
any
talks.
universe. Yeah, in any universe, I am sad. I feel better automatically. I really think it's the Lauren Graham effect. Like seriously,
That's the
I don't
thing.
know.
Trademark it, patent it.
But
Wait,
yeah, that's it.
I
I
want
just
to go back to
started.
what you were just
Oh,
saying.
go ahead.
Oh, what?
It's okay.
You do that first. You do that first. I'll go back after.
Um, I also just started Sweet Magnolias. I don't know if you watched
Well,
that
I've
on
seen it. I've
Netflix.
scrolled past it.
I watched it when the first season came out. I've watched it every other season that it's come out. I think it's like the fourth season, fifth season. The new season just came out. I was watching the first two episodes. If anyone watches this fucking show, I don't know how it keeps getting renewed for another season. It is so bad. And I still watch it every time. And I'm not even saying bad like Ginny and Georgia bad. It's even worse. It's even fucking worse. It is so bad. I think it was like a book series, and that's
I
why
think so.
there's like more seasons. Um, it is horrible acting. Horrible. Horrible. And I still watch, but I'm bored as shit watching it. Like,
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Like,
It's so bad. It's like about this southern town and everyone's so nice and it's like not real. It's
oh my
not
God.
real.
Just like a Hallmark town. If you made
It's
Hallmark
literally
into a series.
Emily, that is it. It is a Hallmark town and it makes me want to like blow my brains out. I'm like, oh, they're like Dana
Where's the
City.
grit? Where's the
Yeah.
drama?
No, seriously, like it is so dry. It's crazy.
Oh my
And the
God.
acting, I'm like, I can't. But anyways, so just
That's so funny.
wasting my time over here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I okay,
But
maybe I won't give that a shot.
no, like I
So I'm
really
really
don't
gonna pass
recommend.
that. I feel like my bad sh like my guilty pleasure, like terrible show is Emily in Paris. Like it's
Yes.
bad, but it just I'm locked in. I need to know what happens. I need to know who she ends up with in the end.
But
Like
that's better. It's still juicy and
exactly.
interesting and
And
like
like they follow the one episode, like the ep one episode long arc too. So they have like a whole like a problem in the beginning and they solve it by the end of the episode, but they like set something up for the next episode. So it's like a
mhm,
different problem every episode and it's not like boring where it's like, oh, we're gonna solve this one problem for the whole season, you know? They like they're
totally.
moving into like short form media. I think they kind of saw that like with TikTok and everything and how everyone's attention spans are just down the drain. So they're just
Yeah.
like, let's make short digestible content that you can just watch, like just binge through, and then
hmm
they just followed that formula and did that.
Yeah, no. And
And it
these episodes
works.
are like, I
It
swear these
works.
episodes are like hours long. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, that's really it for me.
hmm Yeah, I want to go back to what you said before though about what was the reality show with everyone? like from other shows that you were talking about?
The traders.
Hmm. Yeah, you were saying that it got boring towards the end, and
Hmm.
like I feel like that's becoming the case with a lot of these reality shows. Like I don't know, like we were talking about this the other day. We were saying like the Kardashians has gotten boring, like we're not interested in it anymore. Like a lot of these like reality shows that we've watched are just falling down the drain. Like there's just not much keeping us interested in it anymore. And I feel like reality TV kind of has to find like a new formula and like new methods of getting more engagement because it's totally like derailed with social media, I feel like.
Yeah, and I don't consider traders in this case. Like honestly, the only reason is it's kind of like Love Island. Like you can really love a season, but towards the end, it's just like when the place feels a bit emptier because like there's less and less people like
Oh,
in the
okay, okay.
house. So that's why it's kind of
It's like the
just
end of the
like
Bachelor seasons. Yeah, it's like
it feels like the end,
yeah.
but no, you're so right for like some things like the new Kardashian season. I'm not even like tempted to start watching it. And I what used to be the biggest Kardashians fan,
Oh, I know.
and seriously, like it was like I lived and breathed the Kardashians. Like you said something about them, I would like come at you. Like seriously, I would.
No, I
And
like
I
remember we would wait for every episode every week and watch it when it came out. Like we were obsessed with the earlier season.
yeah, and something has happened like the last like 3 years, honestly. Like it just my relationship with them changed, but it's not even just them. I think it's as we're like evolving and honestly as the world is getting like even crazier, and just like I don't know, like climate change. I don't know, like things become more serious and I feel like even like people who love celebrities like me are over celebrities?
I completely agree. I feel like the divide between us and them has become like so apparent. And I think like we're just like now with like with social media and everything and like with TikTok, get ready with me's and everything, like you're seeing glimpses into people's lives that you can actually relate to on like a daily basis pretty much. So we're finding those like little niche like spots in media where we see like, oh, this is similar to me, this I'm gonna watch more of that we just didn't have like when the Kardashians started. Like there wasn't like that was the only like glimpse into a celebrity's life that you really had back then because they were like the first ones to do the in my of to my knowledge, of course, they were the first ones to do like this is what goes on in the life of a celebrity. This is this grand lifestyle that we live and like we're relatable too. We have problems with our siblings, like we fight sometimes, but we're a family at the end of the day. Like that, I feel like it's not something people can relate to anymore.
Hmm. No, I mean, also, I think with the Kardashians, they have just gotten to like such a crazy level, like them specifically, where obviously when Keeping Up with the Kardashians began, like their wealth status was at a completely different like standard that it is now. Like Kim's a millionaire or billionaire, sorry, millionaire. They're all millionaires. Um, but it's Kim and Kylie, so it's just crazy. But it's not just them. I feel like it's so many celebrities, like actors, like these A-list people, like even like not that I don't even want to get into this, but just for example, like the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing, like people hating Blake, it just people do not care about these big, big celebrities anymore. They don't. Um, I feel like music artists are different though. That's like my one exemption for the most part. Music artists that
Mhm.
like, especially this the people who are on the rise right now because like I'm just thinking Chapel Roan like that's not happening really necessarily with her or like Sabrina Carpenter like no people are still obsessed with them. Olivia
Mhm.
Rodrigo, people are obsessed with her. um but I guess that's because like music still is relatable and people can and feel connection to like those music artists than like as opposed to actors and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that because I feel like with actors, you're not seeing them in their work. You're seeing just like whatever character they're playing. But with music, they're
Hmm.
putting pieces of themselves into the music. The music is all them. So you're creating this connection with this person who's not just promoting a product. You're creating
Yeah.
that kind of relationship with them. You're like kind of getting to know them a little bit more, but they also don't have like the, I feel like musicians don't always have the exposure also that actors have. I feel like actors always have to like put on this display, like, here's this movie that I'm promoting, here's what I'm doing right now, like, look at this like circus, you know, like it
Hmm.
doesn't feel authentic with them. And
Yeah.
with musicians, they don't always like the approach to press is completely different. They don't do those junkets that
Hmm.
that actors do. So they're pretty much just promoting through their social media and like different channels. And I feel like it's not as in your face and it feels
Hmm.
like there's more of an authenticity there.
Yes, completely. And it's not like this goes for all actors. Like there are actors, like you know what I mean? It's not just a general statement, but I feel like overall that's how so many people are feeling. And I think it's just like these mega wealthy Hollywood people just are kind of tired of it, you know? I think people are like struggling in their own lives, so it just people are tired of, seeing them. I think like honestly, like Kamala losing is like the biggest example of like how celebrity influence is and that influential maybe as it once was.
Oh,
Um,
that's such a good example of it. Oh my gosh.
mhm.
Like she had everybody backing her and then it just didn't even show they didn't show up in the results. Like it's crazy how this like advertising doesn't work anymore. And I feel like that also because advertising has come into has like literally just invaded our lives so much. Like it's completely destroyed our phones. Like everything on TikTok, every two videos is a ad. Like I can barely tell anymore what's an ad and what's
Mhm.
actual content from other people because I feel like it's just everywhere, constantly trying to sell something to me.
Yeah, like nothing feels authentic anymore. And at least with like even if like Taylor Swift, for example, Taylor Swift, she is literally obviously so wealthy and is the biggest superstar in the world, but still has so many fans. Like people, I'm still obsessed with Taylor Swift. Like she has like the Swifties for a reason. I think that's because the music aspect, like going back on how I think being a music artist, you still create that connection with your, listeners and your fans. But I mean, it doesn't go for all music artists, but I think like the authentic ones, I feel like it's a little different than like Katy Perry, for example. I don't think she really writes much of her music, and that's why I think her album, I mean, for many reasons, but that's why I think her most recent album didn't do that well. I think it's if you're connecting, if you're putting your personal touch in there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that you write your own music, but it's that you have like an artistic vision and that vision is going into the album because not all music artists are writers as well. And that doesn't need
Yeah,
to be the case, but at least like the music, the piece of work feels authentic to them. And a lot of the times I feel like if it doesn't, Katy Perry, then that's why people aren't receiving it because that's not you. Maybe 10 years ago that would have worked, but not anymore.
exactly. Like I'm thinking about that song right now, and it's just so funny because like
Like it's a
if she had
woman's
released
world.
it 15 years ago, it would have been amazing. But
Hmm.
you're doing this like that wave of feminism has passed already. Like we're we've all moved on. She stayed there, and it just goes back to them being out of touch. Like they're just out of touch. It's like it's like when we used to see them on like during COVID, like on their yachts and stuff. Like they're like isolating, like on vacation, just me and my pod, like and while everyone else was like struggling, like that was just it's not fun. They're not relatable.
Yeah, they're not relatable anymore. And I think like it's just people are actively like calling it out or just not even dabbling in it anymore. Which is funny. I still like that's why we do this show. We love celebrity culture, and that's why we're doing this. And we're going to talk about celebrities and we understand how obnoxious their culture can be to us sometimes. And I get why people are like disengaged. And it's just so crazy how, like, truly for the Kardashians, that totally is it. It's just all over. It's tone deaf, tone deaf, tone deaf. And I just like really don't care anymore. And it's, they're not acting in any movies that I like love to see. Like they're not creating any work that I love to see. So I'm just kind of like, your life is just so not even interesting to me anymore because I'm bored by it?
Exactly. Exactly. Because I feel like we love this culture so much. Like this is so much fun and like we're both studying this kind of thing in school.
Yeah.
So like this like Hollywood culture is kind of dying down, and it's really interesting. Like, we love talking about it. It's really interesting to talk about it. It's interesting to discuss how it's changing and how it's evolving. And it's kind of nice to like look back on this and have this time capsule of the state of how this industry is. So I feel like in like 10 years it's going to be completely different too. It changes so rapidly, and it's just very interesting.
Totally, totally. And before we just finish this thought, it totally has to also do with like the influencer era as well. Like we can't deny it's not necessarily that like what you said, it's not like it's over, it's just changing. And it's people connect to real people and people that relate and like create a connection. And so that's why like the TikTok influencers, YouTubers like do so, so well and have like honestly more of an influence than some of these other people, like the Kim Kardashians of the world, you know?
Oh, 100%. And I think it's ushering in like a really good new era of like
Hmm.
content for us, because now we're going to be able there. I feel like there's also so much being produced constantly. Like, it's going to be so much easier for you to find your niche and find the things that are more suited towards you.
Well, do you have anything else to add?
I think that's pretty much it. We've been talking for a while. Oh my God, I
I
looked at the
actually
time.
I'm looking at the
Oh
time,
my
but
God.
I can't see how long we've been
I
recording
don't
for,
know
so I don't even
either.
know. I
I
don't even
don't
know.
know,
I'm
but around
scared.
an hour. Somewhere around
It's it's
that. Wow.
it's hard not to. It's hard not to.
Because it's just it's everything. We love it. We love it. We can't
It's
help
everything. It's
it.
everything to
It's
me.
my life.
It's,
It's so
it's
high
all I care
culture.
about. It's so high
So
culture.
important. So highbrow.
So
So
highbrow. So as
interesting.
we said, like that's all we talk about, sophisticated shit. And
Hmm.
thank you for listening. That is so exciting. We're going to be posting new podcasts once every 2 weeks. That's the hope. And then maybe if more people listen, we'll get more out to you. So if you want more of this, listen, like,
And let us know.
share.
So Spotify has comments now. So, all right. That wraps it up. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. We love you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
See you next time.